the Champions League last-minute equalizers that changed the course of a match and a legacy. In this video, we are ranking every single goal scored in a Champions League final in the 21st century. From Zidane's left foot masterpiece to Bale's outrageous best goal kick, we are going year by year, judging each one, not just by beauty, but by context. Penalties have their own separate tier, because let's face it, they are a different kind of pressure. But for everything else, it's all about the moment, the execution and what it meant on that night. Let's dive into the biggest stages, the biggest players, and the biggest goals of modern European football. Real Madrid took control early in this all-Spanish final. Morientes opened the scoring with a powerful header after a cross from Roberto Carlos. Then came Steve McManaman with a beautiful volley from outside the box, one of the cleanest strikes in the Champions League final. Raul sealed it with a late composed finish after a solo run, showing Real's dominance in the early 2000s. For that, I'll give Morientes' header a B tier, McManaman volley a A tier, and Raul's solo run A tier. This was the battle of the penalties. Gesca Mendieta calmly slotted his in the 3rd minute, but Bayern Munich responded in the second half when Effenberg buried his own spot kick. The game went all the way to penalties, where Bayern Munich finally prevailed, but no goals from open play make this a unique final. 2002 Real Madrid vs Bayer Leverkusen. Raul opened the scoring with a sharp run and clinical finishing, but Leverkusen answered quickly through Lucius' bullet header. Then came one of the most iconic moments in Champions League history, Zidane's left-footed volley just before halftime. It was pure class and still considered one of the greatest goals ever scored in a final. For Raul and Lucius' goals, I'll place them in a B tier, then Zidane's left-footed volley has to go in the S tier. Next up, 2003 AC Milan vs Juventus. No goals in regular or extra time and penalties decided it. It wasn't the most exciting finals in terms of attacking football, and Milan triumphed in the shootouts. 2004 Porto vs Monaco. Carlos Alberto started it off with a brilliant volley that caught the Monaco defense by surprise. Deco doubled the lead with a smart finish after a slick passing move, and Alinichev finished it off thanks to some unselfishness play. Jose Mourinho's Porto were efficient and ruthless. Carlos Alberto's volley has to go in the A tier, and for Deco's low finish, I'll give it B tier. Then Alinichev tap-in, it's a C tier. 2005 Liverpool vs AC Milan. This was the miracle of Istanbul. Maldini scored in the first minute with a volley, and Crespo added 2 more before halftime. But Liverpool came storming back. Gerrard's header ignited the comeback, Smicer followed up with a driven shot, and Alonso equalized off a saved penalty. An all-time classic. For Maldini's volley, it's a A tier. Crespo, tap-in goal and chip has to be B tier and A tier respectively. Gerrard's header, I'll give it a A tier. Smicer, long-range shot, it's a B tier. And Alonso, penalty rebound, well, it has to go in the penalty tier. The 2006 Barcelona vs Arsenal final. Sol Campbell stunned Barca with a towering header, but late substitutions changed everything. Eto'o's equalizer with a slick finish at the near post, and Giuliano Belletti became the unlikely hero with a tight angle that squirmed under the keeper. Drama and class from the Catalans. I'll give Sol Campbell's header B tier, then Eto'o's goal and Belletti has to go in the A tier. Moving on, 2007 AC Milan vs Liverpool. A tale of redemption for Milan. Inzaghi's first was fortunate, a deflection off his chest just before halftime. His second was pure striker instinct, rounding the keeper and finishing with ease. Darkout got on back with the late header, but Milan held on this time. Inzaghi's deflection, I'll give it a C tier. Then his second goal where he rounded the keeper, I'll give it a B tier. Then Darkout header, B tier too. 2008 Manchester United vs Chelsea. Cristiano Ronaldo rose above everyone to head home the opener. but Lampard leveled before the break with a calm finish after the chaos in the box. The rain-soaked final ended in penalties, with United edging it after Terry's infamous miss. I'll give both goals a B tier ranking. 2009 Barcelona vs Manchester United, where Ronaldo and Messi both met at the final stage. Eto'o opened the scoring with a quick burst and low finish. Then Messi stunned everyone, not with a dribble but with a rare header, floating in to seal a dominant Barca's performance. Both goals were outstanding. For that, I'll give them A tier. Moving on to the 2010s era, the first game played was Inter Milan vs Bayern Munich. Diego Milito was unplayable. His first came from a sleek 1-2 and a clinical finish, and his second was even better. A solo run that left defenders trailing before slotting it past the keeper. A masterclass from the Argentine. I'll give his first goal a A tier, then his second goal an S tier. Moving on, 2011 Barcelona vs Manchester United. Barcelona's attacking display was on full show. Pedro slotted home the first after a sharp passing move, but Rooney hit back with a curler to equalize. Messi restored the lead with a low rocket from distance, and David Villa sealed it with a beautiful top corner finish. Tiki-taka at its peak. For Pedro's goal, I'll give it a B tier. Rooney's curler, A tier. Messi's long-range shot was definitely an S tier, and Villa's top corner finish an A tier. 2012 Chelsea vs Bayern Munich final. Muller put Bayern ahead with a late header, but Drogba answered with an even more powerful one moments later. In extra time, Drogba also gave away a penalty, but Czech saved it. The shootout saw Drogba become the hero, scoring the winner and completing Chelsea's unlikely run. I'll give Muller's header a B tier and Drogba's header S tier. Moving on to the 2013's finals, Bayern Munich vs Borussia Dortmund. Mandzukic gave Bayern the lead with a scrappy finish after a cross. Gundogan equalized from the spot, but it was Arjen Robben who stole the show with a brilliant late winner, drifting through defenders and coolly rolling it in past the keeper. I'll give Mandzukic's tap-in a C tier, Gundogan's penalty definitely a penalty tier, and Robben's solo run, this is an S tier. I really loved the goal, it was a brilliant finish. The 2014 Real Madrid vs Atletico Madrid final. Atletico looked like they had it, thanks to Godin's sloping header, but Ramos delivered a dramatic equalizer in the 93rd minute. In extra time, Bale headed home the go-ahead goal, Marcelo added another solo run, and Ronaldo scored from the penalty spot. History was made with La Decima. I'll give Godin's header and Marcelo's solo run B tier, Ramos' header S tier because it was in the last minute. Then I'll give Bale A tier and Ronaldo's penalty goes to the penalty tier. The 2015 Barcelona vs Juventus. Rakitic finished a stunning team move early on. Morata equalized by pouncing on a rebound, but Suarez restored Barca's lead with a poacher's goal. Neymar finished it with a breakaway in the final seconds. Clinical and complete from the Catalans. I'll give Rakitic A tier just because it was a team goal. Morata's rebound, I'll give it a B tier. Suarez tapping a C tier. Neymar's counter-attack, I'm stuck between an A tier and a B tier, but I'll give it a B tier. The 2016 Champions League final, Real Madrid vs Atletico Madrid again. Sergio Ramos again opened the scoring in a final, this time with a scrappy goal. Carrasco came off the bench to equalize with a confident finish at the back post. The game went to penalties, and who else than Cristiano Ronaldo to score the decisive spot kick. Both goals were scrambles and tap-ins, so I'll give them both a C tier. Moving on to the 2017 Champions League final, Real Madrid vs Juventus. Cristiano Ronaldo opened with a sweet strike and later added another one off a deflection. But the goal of the night was Mandzukic's overhead kick, an unreal piece of technique. Casemiro and Asensio added goals to Real's dominant display. I'll give Ronaldo's first goal a B tier ranking, his second goal a C tier ranking. Mandzukic's one, it's not even a debate, I'll give it an S tier. Casemiro's long range shot A tier, and Asensio's close range goal a C tier. The 2018 Real Madrid vs Liverpool Champions League final. A wild final. Benzema opened the scoring by intercepting a throw from the goalkeeper. Then Mane equalized with a tap-in, but Gareth Bale stole the show. First with a jaw-dropping overhead kick, then with a long-range strike that Karius fumbled. For Benzema's first goal, I'll give it a C tier. Then Mane's one, I'll give it a C tier too. Bale's overhead kick, definitely an S tier. And his long-range shot, I think I'll give it an A tier just because of how good of the first goal was. 2019 Liverpool vs Tottenham. A penalty in the first 2 minutes from Salah put Liverpool ahead early. The game stayed tight until late, when Origi drove home a low shot to seal the win. Not the most exciting final, but job done for Liverpool. For Salah's goal is a penalty tier, then Origi's low finish, I'll give it a B tier. 2020 Bayern Munich vs PSG. Kingsley Coman, a former PSG player, scored the only goal against his former team. A textbook header at the back post. Bayern's pressing and control were too much for Neymar and Mbappe's PSGs. I'll give the goal a B tier. 2021 Chelsea vs Manchester City. Kai Havertz scored the only goal of the game, rounding Ederson after Mason Mount's perfect through ball. A clinical finish in a match where Chelsea's defense took center stage. I'll give the goal a A tier just for rounding off the goalkeeper and being the only goal of the game. 2022 Real Madrid vs Liverpool. Vini Jr. tapped in from close range after a low cross from Valverde. It wasn't flashy, but it was enough to win the game and the tournament. For Real once again, I'll give the goal a C tier. 2023 Man City vs Inter Milan. Another one-goal game. Rodri stepped up when it mattered most, placing a calm, composed finish from just outside the box into the corner. It was the breakthrough Man City needed to complete their historic treble. For that edge-of-box finish, I'll give that an A tier. 2024 Real Madrid vs Borussia Dortmund. Carvajal opened the scoring with a rare header from a corner, an unlikely source at the right time. Then Vinicius Jr. sealed the win on a breakaway. For Carvajal's header, I'll give that a B tier, and Vini Jr.'s breakaway goal, I'll give that an A tier. Now, for the 2025 UCL final in what was a crazy showdown. PSG won 5-0, which caught many by surprise. Hakimi scored first after a brilliant passing move by the French club. I give that goal a B tier. Doué scored twice as the first one took a slight deflection, and the second one was a 1v1 after another brilliant PSG passing move. I'll give his first a B tier and his second one a A tier. Vicha Kvaratskhelia scored the fourth, and Mayulu came on as a sub to score the fifth, to win PSG its first ever Champions League. I'll give both goals a B tier too. That's every Champions League final goal of the 21st century ranked. Some unstoppable, some unforgettable, and others just did the job. Every single one mattered though. Drop your favorite goal in the comments. Agree or disagree with my rankings? Let's hear it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and hit the subscribe button for more football breakdowns and rankings like this one. On to the next one.